So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and it's all about how to clear your space to transform your life. And the really important part about this is that when you bring a crystal into your home environment or your work environment or your healing space, you want to make sure that your energy of your environment is cleansed. And then that will match the energy of a crystal that's cleansed. But first, let's start at the environment. I want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. There are so many different ways to cleanse an environment. And there's a ton of belief systems where if you start at the door, do you go right? Do you go left? Do you use bells? Do you not use bells? So different civilizations did it different ways. And many of you have probably practiced with different types of healers or belief systems. At the end of the day, do what you believe in and what you've already learned. But I'm just going to share with you something that I've been doing and it works for me. But do what works for you. If you feel like there's some stuff in this video that you can incorporate into your current belief systems, do that. So today, the number one thing about clearing your space and why it's important is that you want to make sure on a daily basis that your environment is vibing at a high frequency. So sometimes this might be considered another job, something else that you need to do in the day. But it's one of those things that if you do it on a weekly basis, the rewards that you are going to reap are going to be immense. Why is it important to cleanse your environment? Well, as many of us, sometimes life gets going fast. We come home, we've had a crazy day, we have all this energy that's thick and on our energy field, or people in the household may have had an argument, or somebody might have been sick and caught a cold, or clutter starts to get in different pockets and things start to get stagnant and stuck. And the thing about clearing your environment is you don't have to be some hardcore meditator, or you don't have to be doing yoga 20 hours a day to know if your environment feels as if it's heavy or not. Once you start doing this, you'll be able to walk in your house and say, you know what, it's time to cleanse the environment because it's feeling a little heavy. So basically today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some simple techniques that you can do, and this could be done in under 5 minutes or less. And it really, after 5 minutes, you're gonna feel a difference. So cleansing your environment is the first thing that you're gonna wanna do prior to working with crystals. And a lot of people don't talk about this step. They always talk about cleansing your crystals, but your crystals will come into an environment, and crystals are neutral. It's the energy of the earth. It's not saying, hey, this is an amazing experience, or this is not a good experience, or this place is vibing high, or this place has got stuck energy. It's just going to amplify what already is there. So if you want to work with pure energy of the earth, you want to bring it into an environment that has pure energy. So let's start with how we clear our environment. Sage is one method and one thing you could use to clear and purify your home. And what's so great about sage is that this has been around for thousands of years. It's been around a long time. Sage grows out naturally in nature, and it's dried, and that's how you make a sage stick. So this is really available now. I mean, sometimes they have them at grocery stores, holistic stores, but sage is really easy to get. And a lot of times, sometimes people will even grow a sage plant, and then they'll clip it and they'll let it dry out, and then that's what they could use to purify their home. So sage is the purifier. And the thing that's really good about this is that when you burn a sage stick, the smoke is what you want to filter into your home environment or your work environment. And once again, there's two different trains of thought. Sometimes people say you want to sage your house and keep all the doors closed, and then after the smoke is filling the house, then you want to open up all the doors and all the windows. What I like to do is I like to open up the doors and the windows ahead of time, because in my mind, I'm thinking that I'm saging my environment to cleanse and purify the space and release any negative or unwanted energy. I want it to be able to leave through the doors and through the windows. Another little trick is to pull up all the blinds and to open the windows and let as much sun into your environment as possible. If you can, it's always better to sage your home during the day, usually when it's not raining outside, but when you could have that sun infiltration. And there's a lot of different techniques on how to do this. As I mentioned before, do you go right or left? But if you start at your front door, a real simple technique to do if you want to do this on a weekly basis is you just start at your front door, you light your sage stick so that it's really, really burning, so there's a lot of smoke coming out. And you can start at the door, you could say a prayer, you can make an intention, whatever your belief system, this is when you tap into yourself. So for example, to the energy and to the plant spirit of sage, I ask that I use your medicine and healing smoke to purify and cleanse this environment. So what you do is you light your sage stick, and then you have some kind of abalone shell or a fireproof container that is underneath, so that when the ashes of the sage stick fall, you have something to catch them. And you start at the front door, you say your intention, you say your prayer, and you walk clockwise around your home. It's really important that you, when you're walking around your house, you go into all the corners. And if you have any cabinets or closets in any room, that you open the cabinets and you open any closet doors, holding the intention. You could even say it out loud. Please cleanse and purify this space. Say you're moving into a new house of previous owners and occupants. Please clear the space of any unwanted energy, of any arguments or any illness or sickness. And you walk around each room of your home. Make sure you get into the corners, make sure that you have smoke in the ceilings. Really, really make it thorough. Now, it might be a lot of smoke in your home. Don't be concerned, because they will leave through the bedrooms and they will leave through the windows. Then you go into the next room and you do the same exact thing. Closets, bathrooms, lift up the toilet heads, go through each and every single room. What you'll find is after you go through the house, there will be certain rooms in your home that might hold more smoke than other rooms. Once again, don't be concerned. These are usually the rooms that might have more energy in them that need to be cleansed. So this could be it doesn't have to be some hardcore thing where you're like, in each room, blah, 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 blah. Just make it quick. If you only have 5 minutes, walk through your house with intention. If you have a little bit more time and you want to clear, if somebody's been sick, please clear any illness from our home. If somebody has passed away in the house, please make sure that the spirit of light and love that once was in this house has been sent to the other side, whatever your belief system is, in light and harmony and love. And may their spirit be released into a higher energy field. So that is the importance of saging. You can do this. Say sometimes if you are in the business world and you are out in public and you've done public speaking, or you've had a hard day at work and you come home and you feel depleted and you feel as if maybe there's other people's energy that you've attracted and it's kind of feeling a little heavy, you can also sage your own body. And you could sage and purify and just ask that any energy has been cleansed from your own body and energy field, and that you are purified and cleared of anything that has been attached or been surrounded by you for the day, and that you've been cleared. So this is a very, very simple technique that can be done in 5 minutes. You could do it for 15 minutes. It could be done as in little as 3 minutes. So highly, highly powerful tool to do on a weekly basis, if not monthly basis. And sometimes when energy's heavy in a house, or somebody's been sick, or while they're healing, you can even do it on a daily basis. The next thing that I like to do is to incorporate sound. And once you've cleared the environment with sage and smoke, then it's important to go through your environment with sound. Now, The reason why this is so important is that if you have stuck and stagnant energy, which usually always resides in the corners of rooms, it's always in the pockets, it gets heavy. And sound, you could use a bell. If you don't want to use a bell, all you have to do is you go to the corners of a room and you clap your hands up and down. And you can walk around a room and clap it out, or you could walk around a room and ring it out. The sound with the smoke really breaks up the energy, and you will feel it, as I said before, whether you have done this before or not. Those two steps will make such a huge transformation in your environment that you will feel it immediately. So take the time to go through each room, just like you did with sage, ring it out, spending more time in the corners of each room, or if you feel that the room has a little bit more stagnant energy, ring the bell a couple more times or clap your hands. Sometimes people even could use a drum. So get creative. All you want to do is use sound to break up energy. This is Palo Santo. It's really important after you've saged your house, you've rung it out with bells, and you've released unwanted or negative energy. You now need to fill that space up with light and love and blessings. Palo Santo is an amazing thing to burn. It's a wood that you burn to bring in blessings and uplift the energy in your space. Fun fact about Palo Santo. This wood is harvested after it's naturally fallen, and it could lay on the ground for 4 to 10 years until its medicinal properties kick in. So it doesn't happen when it's alive. It happens when it naturally falls to the ground, and then it sits there, and then ethically sourced and harvested and made into this amazing wood that we can burn to help heal and bring blessings and angels into our life. The smell of Palo Santo has this very sweet healing, and it's also been said to attract angels. So there's a lot of very magical, miracle type stories with Palo Santo and its healing properties. But today we're really talking about how we bring in good vibes to the house. So Palo Santo is one of these really interesting woods that when you light it, you need to continue to blow on it. Because what happens is with sage, it'll start smoking on its own. You could kind of leave it to its own devices. Palo Santo requires that you stay with it. So once you light it, you've got to continue to blow on it. And if you don't, then you're going to have to relight the wood. But what you do is you do exactly like you did before. You go through each room, but this time you fill up the room with love. May this room be harmonious. May the blessings of the angels and of the light bring harmony to our home. May we have more healing environment. Please bless us with prosperity. Whatever you want to say out loud to fill your space with positive energy, and use the sacred smoke of this Palo Santo tree to bring that into your environment. Utilize it to bring the highest good. This is really a medicinal, magical bark, wood, and it has a lot of healing properties that have been along for a very, very long time. So it's looked at as sacred smoke, sacred medicine, and anyone can use this. It's just with your intention and with the continually blowing on this to keep the spark going. Frankincense is another purifying and cleansing tool. And I like to talk about it because sometimes people just don't like the smell of sage. And frankincense is a resin. And it has a really, really powerful and pungent, detoxifying, purifying energy that can surround a house. And what I like to do personally is I like to burn sage, and then I like to also burn frankincense, because I feel that the energy is really thick right now on the planet, and sometimes we just need a little extra punch to cleanse and purify. It's kind of similar to if you take a shower and you want to put a scrub on top of your body just to really cleanse your body and then scrub that extra layer of skin off or any extra residue. That's when I love to use frankincense. It's a resin. It's been around thousands of years, frankincense and myrrh. And because this resin brings such a transformation in your environment, it's really, really clean and it's really, really pure. How do you do it? You just would light the frankincense and you would put it on some charcoal and put it in a fireproof container and walk around each room in your home, opening the doors, opening the windows, and going in all the cabinets. Now, what I like to do, because I think that the energy of the planet right now is kind of heavier than normal, I like to do it all. I like to sage, then I like to do frankincense in each room, and then I like to bell it out, and then adding a palo santo or a sweetgrass to bring in the positive energy. Frankincense is the transformer. It is able to shift, purify, and cleanse your own personal energy field and the energy field of your environment and space. And why is this important? Because the smoke creates a sacred act. It's almost as if you are putting your thoughts and intentions up into spirit, up into something bigger and higher than yourself, and you're enlisting the help of the invisible energy and the invisible world to help clear and purify the space. These have been around for a long time, since the beginning of time. They're all natural substances that come from the earth, similar to crystals, and that's really why they work so hand in hand. Okay, this is a fun secret tip, something that I've been playing around with that I find is really, really powerful. And it's space clearing in a jar. This is a really great technique to use if, say, somebody in your home has been sick and they're going through the healing process, and that room is going to feel a little bit more heavy. Or there's sometimes that there's rooms in your house that have a lot of electromagnetic frequency. It's those rooms that all the computers are in or the printers are in. Sometimes there's also rooms in the house that you find that the family always kind of gets in when there's some maybe bickering. There's certain rooms in the house that this technique comes really in handy. And it's very, very simple to do and pretty inexpensive. All you need to do and get is a glass mason jar, some sea salt, black tourmaline, and some fresh sage. What you do is you fill up a mason jar halfway full with some spring water, add a couple pinches of sea salt to the water, and what that does is salt helps to absorb. It sucks in energy. And so when water and salt together, it helps to suck everything in. Then what I like to do is I like to add a piece of black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is great for absorbing energy, shielding from negativity, helping to neutralize the energy of negativity where it's absorbing it so you don't have to. I put a piece of that in. A lot of times, if somebody doesn't want to sage their house, but they feel more comfortable with actual sage, you can put a piece of raw sage into the water. Very easy. You could find this at all grocery stores. What you do is then put this jar in the four corners of the room, and it creates almost as if it's a grid that's sealing off the energy of the room. If somebody is really sick, if you have one of your kids, or you're taking care of an elder, or just some funky energy in the house, it's really important that on a daily basis, once you put the mason jars in the four corners, the next day, within 24 hours, you get that water and salt and you empty it down the toilet drain. You want to dump that water down the drain. So what you could do is you'll get the tourmaline, rinse it off, wash your hands, fill the jars back up, and do the same thing. You can take the sage out of the mason jar. You don't need to put fresh sage in every single day. The most important thing is that on a daily basis, you change the water and you change the salt, because Every 24 hours, it's absorbing, it's absorbing. I know that this sounds as it might be a laborious and time-consuming process, but it is so worth it. Because you will find that people will heal faster in rooms that are being absorbed, so the environment's not absorbing it, and you will find that the rooms don't feel so heavy and dark. You can do this technique for as long as you want. Sometimes people have this technique in their house at all times, but it's really, really important not to let the salt water sit for too long of time. You have to keep emptying it out and filling it up with new water and salt as often as possible. Never let it go more than 24 hours. Another way to set up your space for good vibes and positive energy is to add flowers to the environment. I remember when I was over in Bali and I would go around and I would see all these little shrines set up in front of people's homes, and they all had flowers. And just seeing that, it just made me happy and it made me feel good. And who doesn't feel good with fresh flowers in their house? One simple way of doing this is after you've cleansed and purified your environment, just getting a small bowl. It could be a glass bowl, it could be a cereal bowl, it could be whatever you already have, or you could go purchase something. You fill it up with water, take a couple of your favorite plants and put it at the base of certain rooms. You could put it at the front door, right when people enter. You could put it on an altar. You could put it in your bedroom on the floor. What it does is saying, hey, you know what? This place is beautiful, it's sacred, it's a temple, it's love, it's energy, and it just makes you happy. It makes homes feel uplifted and bright, and it brings a smile to your face when you see it. And that's always a good way to start the day. Now the fun part, bringing the crystals into your sacred, cleansed, and purified environment. I love to have amethyst in the house. Amethyst could go in any single room because it's almost as if it's a natural filtration system. So it's one of those stones that takes on negativity but emits positive energy. So it is filtering all the energy in your environment. Amethyst is all about intentions, and it's about intuition, and it's about bringing just that beautiful violet energy into your space. So highly recommend that you put this in your bedroom next to your bed. You could put it in a living room to radiate light in the living room. Also perfect for any space. Family rooms are great. Tables, kitchen tables, because it emits a really harmonious energy. So when everyone's eating around the table, it creates a really good vibe. Amethyst is your go-to stone to put in your house for good energy, to filter out negativity, and to bring in positive energy. Selenite, one of my personal favorite stones. Love this stone. Can't say more than I love it, I love it, I love it. And the reason I love it, it's kind of like the crystal version of sage and frankincense. It clears and purifies not only your energy field, but wherever it's placed, it cleanses and purifies that environment. Love to put this on a windowsill, because what happens is any negative energy that might be coming in through the house by a window or by a door, this combats it, it shields it. Plus, it brings in a whole immense energy of white liquid light. It fills your environment and your house up with radiance and purity. I love this, and another reason I love this stone is I love to put it in my bedroom. It helps to bring the whole energy of your room really calm. I put it under my bed to sleep at night. Sometimes I put it under my pillow. Sometimes I put it over my heart. I mean, this is the go-to stone. This stone is so amazing. So lots of different uses, but definitely put it in your windowsill. You can put it in every room in your house, and it's gonna cleanse, purify, and bring in white light into your energy of your home and space, office space. So now you have your sage, your frankincense, your palo santo, you have your crystals, and your cleansing jars. You are ready with all the tools needed to purify and cleanse your home and environment. If you need any additional information, you can find more details and the exact rituals in our book, Crystal Muse.